First, I want to say this. We all owe C.M. Newton a huge debt of gratitude, right? C.M. used to say to us, character is something that's hard to define, but you know it when you see it. Or sometimes he would say it like this, you know it when you're in its presence. And this is Karen Booker. In his book, The Road to Character, author David Brooks says it like this, and I quote, about once a month I run across a person who radiates inner light. They seem deeply good. They listen well. They make you feel funny and valued. You often catch them looking after other people, and as they do so, their laugh is musical, their manner is infused with gratitude. And when you meet such a person, it brightens your whole day. Again, this is Karen Booker. Somebody's trying to call in. I hope that's not mine. All right. During this hiring process, I've read some articles of the difference between resume virtues and eulogy virtues, right? Resume virtues are the skills that you bring into the marketplace. And believe me, I saw a lot of resume virtues over this process. I had over 150 resumes that I had to go through in order to get to this point. However, the eulogy virtues are the ones that are talked about at your funeral, whether you're kind and brave and honest and faithful. We all know that eulogy virtues are more important than the resume ones, but our culture and our educational systems tend to spend more time teaching skills and strategies that give you the qualities for a career advancement, rather than the qualities you need to radiate that inner light, as David Brooks said. This is why at Trevecca Athletics we feel we can uniquely run our athletic department and prioritize Christian, scholar, athlete as our philosophy and as our main desire. And if we believe it, then we have to hire to it, we have to recruit to it, and we have to live by it. And so we're here today to introduce a significant piece of building of the Christian, scholar, athlete philosophy. I want to thank the members of our committee who helped this process, Emily Moore, Desmond Pierce, Dr. Terry Schofield, Jessica Dykes, and Kristen Archie Blankenship. Thanks to the members of the press that are here. Mike, you covered us a lot, Mike. Where are you, Mike? Here, thank you. Elite Orthopedics, Chad, thank you for being here with us. Alumni and fans, you've been here a lot, and we appreciate your continued support. Coaching staff, thank you, coaches, for being here. Players, thought we were going to have a couple. We'll be here tomorrow, right? They are the most important constituent that we have. Without further ado, Barry Booker, would you come up here, please, and introduce your sister? Let's give him a hand. Barry Booker.
I was sitting here trying to think of stories that I could tell to illustrate. Yeah, I was thinking about the time the house got set on fire, but no, I would not want to bring that story up. I was thinking about the time that the basketball goal fell on someone's head and somebody got bloodied, but I wouldn't want to tell that story either. And I was thinking about the time on a trip to D.C. or a trip from Baltimore would be more appropriate, when a van rolled over on the interstate. But I wouldn't want to tell that story either. And the funny thing is that none of those stories involve Karen. It's other members of the family. I couldn't think of any horrible stories that would embarrass Karen, which is to her benefit there. But I can think of this one story, though, that would demonstrate her character and what she has meant in my life. It was this time when a 12-year-old kid was on the ground being pummeled by another 12-year-old kid. And my sister came and dragged that kid off of me, and I'm really grateful for that one. She's been my hero, one of 11. We are the end of a long line. Claudia, Charlotte, Janet, Gwen, Cyrus, Linda, Brenda, Robert, Joe, Sherry, and then the two Vanderbilt kids, Karen and Barry, party of 12. And I followed her to Vanderbilt and was glad to do that, and glad that Coach Newton got mentioned here today, and glad to be here with one of the best coaches I ever had, Coach Elliott. who's made one of a great decision, I believe. When I heard Karen was being considered for this role, I just thought, that's perfect. This is Karen Booker. She is the personification of Christian character. No pressure. She's an outstanding basketball mind, and I think this position, I think she was made for this role. And I'm really excited to see what is to come for the Trevecca community because of Karen's abilities and her skills, and most of all for her Christian character. So please help me welcome the head basketball coach at Trevecca University, Karen Booker.
Well, I could not be more excited. I'm still trying to get used to my title, and I'm just honored. I am humbled, and I'm ready to get things going here. And so Barry spoke for a bit, and Mark spoke for a bit. So I don't have that much to say, but. But I am 11th to 12. For those who don't know, we grew up in Franklin, Tennessee, and our parents were our heroes, and they demonstrated integrity, faith. They really pushed education. If you did not make those grades, you were not playing your sport. And I had to learn that one time from that. I was not the greatest with my math, but at any rate, they were awesome parents and great role models. And so they just helped lead and guide all of us. And I'm thankful for every experience I've had in my life. God has blessed me so much. There have been a ton of basketball experiences. There have been a lot of faith experiences, such as my time with FCA. There have been playing professional, playing overseas. And heck, I even put on the striped shirt and I refereed for over 10 seasons. So it's been great. I got in the car this morning, and the song that was playing was "I've Had the Time of My Life." And that's my love for the game, my love for basketball. It's just been a lot of wonderful experiences. Barry, come on, let's go. Okay, we will not do that. Coach Van Adda really set the standard here. He surprised me with a call last night. He said he wished he could be here. So I know Trevecca more from those days when they were vying for the NAI National Championship, when they won the GMAC or near the top of the GMAC in his first year. And then I moved away. So I've been away from Nashville for these last 4 or 5 years. And so I only know Trevecca as a winning program with a winning tradition. And so that's what I want to help this team get back to. I have spoken with all of the players. I've met 6 or 7 in person. And so, Coach Elliott's like, all right, no pressure, build it, really focus on Christian. And I talk to these players and I let them know we're going to build it, we're going to focus on Christian. And I'm like, well, y'all, what are y'all excited about? And they say, we want to win. And so, Mark, so, yes, with a capital A. So, but anyway, so the team is excited. I'm excited. I just can't express my love for the game of basketball. I was telling Greg, our SID person, that, Barry and I would argue over what we're going to watch on TV when we were young, when I was about 5 or 6. And he was saying, well, you're kind of giving your age away by doing that. Because you used to have to actually get up and change the channel back then. And so, I was watching basketball, NBA, Dr. J, and trying to emulate some of those players. the Old Dominion Tennessee rivalry every year for the women's championship. So I've been watching basketball since I was very little. And one of my favorite parts of any game is the last 2 minutes. Now, my mom would be waiting for me some nights, and I would say, Mom, it only has 2 minutes. I'm watching this NBA game. I'll be right there. And my mom quickly learned that's going to take another 30 minutes for them to play the last two. But what I love about those type games are all of the strategy. And so in terms of my coaching, I want to bring a lot of strategy. I've learned from a lot of different coaches, a lot of different styles. I've taken little bits and pieces from everybody to kind of create my philosophy. So, I'm excited to be here, excited to get started. And a lot of what I'm about and with the team is, passion for the game, preparation, being prepared, teamwork, and then always depending on your faith. And also who you are. Coach Noon's wife, Evelyn, one of my favorite people ever, would always say who you are is not what you do. And so I want these players to gather. They're not just basketball players. They are young women in Christ, and they have so much to offer. And so I want to teach and kind of mentor them.
Greg, if you could pose a question so that it would just jumpstart us a little bit, that would be great. Would you please?
I graduated college, and I majored in business. So I thought I'll go into the business world. My dad owned a couple of business type things. So we grew up kind of with that type of mindset. So I was doing sales in Atlanta. And then I got saved when I was 22, living in Atlanta. And about a month after getting saved, just really turning my life over to Christ, I got invited to go to Israel to play on their national team. And so I went and did that. It was awesome. Came back and got transferred to Nashville. And I served as a volunteer assistant with Coach Phil Lee, the coach that I played for. And Coach Newton would, see me often leaving from that position. And he would say, we need more women in coaching. And then probably months after that, he got hired at Kentucky as athletic director. And he recommended me to head coach Sharon Fanning. And so that's when my coaching career began. I think I first said no. I just bought a house in Nashville. And I don't just buy houses and then kind of have to sell or move on or whatever. And we laughed because I bought a house in Mississippi about 7 or 8 months ago, and it is going up for sale. But anyway, I started at the young age of 24 as a full-time assistant coach. And my mom would say that, you may have some tough times just because you didn't have to pay dues like a lot of young coaches. And also when I was a player at Vanderbilt, how one thing coaches are often concerned about are maybe parents talking to them. So my mom and dad, they would want to talk to the coach and say, okay, you don't need to start Karen because she needs to pay her dues. So I would say, would y'all please not talk to the coach? So anyway, but once I got that experience, once that bug got in me, I was blessed to coach with Sharon Fanning. She had coached with Coach Pat Summit, and they were both really big on fundamentals and teaching the fundamentals. And so that's my base. And just helping players get better and better. So once I caught that bug, I mean, I did step away to referee, and that took a lot of prayer. And I was like, God, are you sure? coach or referee. And I felt led to referee. And so I did step away and I refereed for 10 years. And I would just always set these very high goals. So I had it in my mind, I'd like to be head coach by 30. And so I think if you did the math and multiplied the hours, that meant working 70 to 80 hours a week. And so I just had no balance. I was a workaholic. I reached my goal. And, I was coaching at a school where their motto was learn by doing. And I learned a lot from it. I probably got there a little bit before I was ready, and then I coached there a couple of years, went to the WNBA. But coaching is a lot. It's a responsibility because you only get one question, Clay, because you have a lot of young people that you're trying to mentor to. So it's a huge responsibility. Yes. I love players who can play. I love players who have a love for the game and who have a lot of heart. And even if they're not that skilled, which is the kind of player I was not a skilled player. I was Dennis, the female version of Dennis Rodman. And I could jump out of the gym, I could rebound, but it took me about 4 rebounds to put the ball in the basket. So I like heart, hustle, a love for the game. If a player has those intangibles and some tools, if they have some speed, if they have, pretty good shooting form, I can help them learn and grow. So often when I recruit, I'm looking at the tools that they have. And then it's almost like maybe by faith, I see some of their potential and where they could go with the tools that they have with a lot of work. There is no talent in Murfreesboro. So nobody out there recruit the city of Murfreesboro. It makes it very attractive. We may not have to go much more than 45 minutes from home to find some of the best talent in the country. UConn came in here and got a very strong top player a few years ago, and a lot of teams, a lot of schools, in a lot of bigger conferences come to this area to recruit. So I'm hopeful that that will be helpful for me and my assistants. There's a mix, and some of it depends on what the personnel looks like. If we can run, if I have some speed, love to run, fast break, love to press and trap and have 40 minutes of HE, the rest of that. Don't fire me, Mark, the first day. So I love pressure, I love defense. I love fast break. One thing that I like to do with post players is they're going to run hard all game, and then near the latter part of the game, they're going to earn layups because they will have worn the other team down. I love a team that can shoot threes. When I was at Kentucky, Coach Pitino was there, and I did learn and gain a lot from him, a lot of drills and everything. But teams that I've coached, I have been fortunate to have good three-point shooters, and so I love shooting threes. I love more of a structured offense, draw up the play, come off a UCLA screen on this side, stagger screen on the other side. I let that last screen be a post trying to defend the guard coming out, that second screen. And so to create mismatches is what I like to do. I think here I'm going to have more to work with in terms of skilled post. Love a lot of inside out. Barry would call me the black hole when we played pickup games, but I do love inside out. I want you all to fill the stands, to tell everybody to start getting fired up, because, it's great if everybody jumps on the bandwagon when we are ready to challenge for championships and we built it. But if you can come in, even this first season and just be there, just support us. You know, it may take some time to build. I'm not sure how long it will take, but I'm very confident that we will get there. So I've refereed a lot over here. So I may have even taken some notes from Coach Van Adder. Gosh, they used to shoot a ton of threes, and I mean, they were tough. And so, you know, I think we can get back to being that kind of team. Now Barry, I know he looks tall now, but when we were younger, for the longest, I was about this much taller than him. And then he must have grown 6 inches one summer. And then, you know, it was tougher. So we probably each won our share. He couldn't guard the post, and I could not put an. And I could not stop his 3-point shot. So, or his step back from 3. So I may have won more. I'm just trying to be fair, because
But one of the reasons we got the Bookers is we want to double our attendance, right?
This will do it.
We'll double our attendance. Finally, let's just give one more time a warm welcome to Ken.
Thank you. And I appreciate all of y'all being here as well. Keep us in your prayers. You know, when you're people of faith, that's great ground where the devil wants to come at you, wants to create division, wants to create misunderstanding and just different things. So please pray for us. I will be praying for direction with this team.